I was at Wilkes Community College. I was a full-time student for nearly 5 years. I was in one of their classrooms one time, and I believe it was the gym. And for some reason, I become injured in there. The school didn't care. The security was called. They basically tried to send me home. They brushed it off. They pretended that they had no liability, which is a mistake. That accident insurance that everybody has to buy when they register, that stuff's not worth the paper it's written on. It has so many exclusions in it, and there wasn't one employee on that campus could tell me how to file that claim. Almost a year later, I finally got a hold of the form, and it's written in terminology that I couldn't possibly complete. They're wanting me to do all their work for them, provide them all the records. By the time I gathered all them records, the statute of limitations had already ended. And the dean, I believe he was partly responsible for the delay in getting me that paperwork. He's been causing me problems for a long time. He's been trying to get rid of me. Doesn't really have a substantial cause to do so. He's violated my civil rights. As far as I'm concerned, he can blow my dice. I don't have much to say about Wilkes Community College other than they're very greedy. They taught me in the business division that you're supposed to do the right thing, you practice ethics and morals, but the fact is, you can just forget about all that stuff, because today's economy is driven by greed. Even an educational institution looks at the numbers in the books. They don't really care what's right or wrong. All they look at is the numbers in the books. So we're not making enough profit. I come to them several times with a complaint against other students for harassing me, and they just brushed it off because they knew if they took any kind of action against them other students, they would lose their funding from the state on those students, which is a considerable chunk of change. But they got rid of me because they were trying to shut me up, and I said I wouldn't stop. There's an injustice going on here, and the school just brushed it off, ignored it. Basically, they don't care about the students other than collecting the money for their attendance. The day I was dismissed from Wilkes Community College, the dean looked very nervous, almost scared, when I informed him that I had discussed that matter with an attorney. And basically, he did not have grounds to get rid of me. He just made up some garbage to make it look good on paper. I was in a welding class in the summer months, and there was 2 boys in there. There was 4 students total. And 2 of them boys was bothering me. I was sitting in the booth, and I had the curtain drawn. It's a safety thing. And I'm sitting in there, and I keep feeling this curtain draw behind me. And one time I turned around, and one of those boys that was bothering me in there was right behind me. It didn't have a welding mask on, so he couldn't be observing. And what was going on is he was spritzing some chemical on the back of my neck while I was welding in there, and all of a sudden my vision was so bad that I couldn't even see what I was trying to do. And I took half a dozen complaints to the dean about that. It was an everyday thing from the time I arrived in the morning until the time I left, just non-stop. Come back from lunch and they'd spike my orange juice with some kind of drug. I don't know what the hell it was. And this is going on and on. I went and got a drink out of the machine, and I intentionally set it down where they could see it. And I walked inside and I watched that beverage. And one of the boys tried to distract me while the other one tried to get to it. It didn't take me long to catch on to these people that them 2 boys in there was causing me problems. The dean had just ignored the problem. He told me I was crazy in the head, some psychological nonsense, because apparently he minored in psychology. I've just had one hassle after another from the school. The school did not want to issue my documents after I graduated. I was not permitted to attend graduation at the dean's order. I never got my documents. I informed the dean about a year ago that I was finishing my credits at another school, and his facial expressions was very nervous, because apparently he did not want me to graduate. He made me pay the tuition for the full semester when I was only in the class like 9 days. You know, he could get by with that from the guidelines that said I was in class long enough that I was responsible for those charges, but he was trying to make me default my federal aid so I wouldn't qualify for additional funding. It's just one of the sneaky tricks that the school does. They hide behind the state legislation. They know that it's very difficult to bring any action against the school because you have to sue the state before you can sue the school. I have no faith in that school. That they go by old school administration. Basically, the dean, his last name is Sprinkle. He uses threats and intimidation to control people, and that philosophy went out in the 80s. And now you're supposed to use job coaching and make people feel comfortable. And when you start using threats and intimidation on people, it just has a negative effect. Well, that's what I have to say today.